Hey guys, it's a celebration for 300,000 subs. I thought I would be doing it later in the week. I was scared to do it too soon because you never know how these things can go. Last night I did a bit of a political one, and you never know, it might go sour, and then and then you lose some subs. That's happened. It's happened. So I was like, I don't want to hit 300, throw a party, and then during the party drop down to 299.9 or whatever. It'd be embarrassing. So it's cool. It's cool. Gonna have one of these Dutch cigars that was sent to me. PGC Hagenius. I don't know how to. I can't speak Dutch. Very strange language. Sent by a viewer. Got a PayPal already. Wow, Kieran. Thank you, brother. Thanks, man. Thank you. Means a lot. Hey, it's been a long time, huh? Up and down, up and down. A long journey, but it's good. Just goes to show if you just keep on keeping on. Put your head down and keep working. These cigars were very dry when they're sent to me the other day, but I put them in the humidor and just got them super moist. They're very moist now. Pretty decent. Tanti auguri, del boy. Dean. $2.99. Did I drop already? I didn't. I didn't. Don't make me paranoid. See, that was my fear. I was like, I'm not going to do it when some channels, what they do is like, as they're approaching it, they're like 10 subs away, 20 subs away, and they start the party so that they hit the next milestone during the party or during the stream. That's a nice idea. But I was like, no, I'm not gonna risk this. Especially last night, talking about politics with John. My brother was on as well, which was great. It was a really good conversation. He's been down to Venezuela many times. He knows that region very well. And it was a good chat, but I thought, I'm gonna piss off someone. And then they'll sub, So I was like, I'm gonna just tread lightly. I just got back from dinner, went for some dinner. Had spaghetti allo scoglio. I never eat pasta. It was really enjoyable, but I know I'm going to suffer. Oh well. It was worth it. I haven't had spaghetti in, I don't know, a year or two, maybe more. But it was, scoglio was seafood, yeah. Right. So yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's exciting. What happens is after you get to a certain size, your channel is kind of pushed up the algorithm, probably. I don't know any of this for certain, but I mean, from observing how things go, and also you've got such a wealth of videos that, even if you don't put out a video one week because you're sick or if you're otherwise engaged, you've got all these videos that are still like brewing away. Like, you get people replying to videos that are 3 years old, 2 years old, because they just come up in their feed. So, all that hard work does, pay off because it just kind of works in your favor, as long as you're, as long as the content has some sort of title that could pertain to something, that has a quality. Like if you make a video saying, I don't know, Biden's out, that's obviously old hat. That's old news. So no one's going to click on that video because they can see it's already, well, that was over a year ago. Or whatever, something that has a date on it. Whereas if you make a video saying, real versus fake Submariner, Rolex, or this is why this is my favorite watch, or should I buy an Omega, like things like that, they last forever. Someone in 10 years, 20 years will click on that video still because it's still relevant. A video like yesterday's or the other day's one, the Rolex price hikes is not so relevant because in a year or 6 months, people will be like, well, we already know. So some videos you make are a little less relevant after time. Let me go through the chats. Thanks to the PayPal, Kieran. If anybody feels like PayPaling me, I'd really appreciate it. The Timeless Watch Channel at gmail.com. The Timeless Watch Channel at gmail.com. Ray is the first in. Number 4 at the door. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Thumbed up. Congrats. Thanks, man. DG. It's a party. Thanks, man. Kaloi. Cheers, guys. Kyle's having a Romeo wide Churchill to celebrate. Cheers. Now onward to 500k. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Matty. Thanks, everyone. I don't think I even have David Fitzsimons. I don't even think I have 300 friends on Facebook and Insta combined. Well, there are pluses to that as well. You have your own privacy. Crypto 7, good to see you, man. Crypto 7's got his own channel. All about crypto investing. While still speaking your mind. Yeah, 300k while still speaking your mind. Yeah, I'm not pandering to the crowd, am I? I've never done that. You make a good point. If I did, I'd probably have a bigger channel, but fuck that. Life's short. Dave Parry, congrats, big man. Thank you, man. Quality over quantity. Yeah. Congrats from John Smith. Your broadcast yesterday of Maduro was top notch. It was a good conversation. I do like to talk about current affairs sometimes. The channel is, has a broad appeal. Of course, I got the usual characters and stick to watching, whatever. They don't have a problem with the fact that I'm deviating from watches. They have a problem with the fact of where I stand politically, and they use the stick to watches thing as a cheap weapon or whatever. I don't care. Sending congrats all the way from Morocco. Very well deserved. Thank you, Archrafter. Thank you, man. Sorry, the names come up kind of odd in the StreamYard thing here. Sorry if I'm not. Maybe you have your name written better. I'll never understand why this tech doesn't work properly. And we pay them like $500 a year for this shit. What a jump from 250k. Well deserved. QFT, thanks. Yesterday's stream was a perfect example of why you deserve it. Wow. So some of you did like it. Well, that's good. You listen, I don't think I've ever bought a watch because of just the watch. You know what I mean? The wristwatches are definitely a big part of the channel, certainly, and that's the way it started. But it becomes a kind of a lifestyle thing. It's what watch are you wearing while you're on a date with a beautiful woman, while you're having drinks with Paulina Veretti in the Piazza San Marco, right? while you're traveling to different cities and trying wines and cigars, then the watch becomes part of the whole thing. That's the reason why people buy watches when they see Daniel Craig and George Clooney and so on wearing them, because it's about the lifestyle they have, the kind of stature they have, the charisma they have. And if it's good enough for Clooney, it's good enough for me, you know? I've yet to buy a watch where I'm watching some video of some dude in his basement going,
I like this one because it has the best looks and it's like, and where's and
you know, it would turn me off the fucking watch. But I'm not fucking buying that thing. I don't want to end up like that guy. I'm sorry. I know I probably just offended a lot of people right now, but come on, like. The watch is like it's your accessory. It comes with you in your travels. That's why there's a romance to the GMT, right? The Rolex GMT or whatever. You know, it's the pilot. If it's good enough for the fucking for that captain of this plane flying a 747-400, and that's the watch he wears, I'll wear that same watch. Thank you very much. So if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me. You know, this kind of thing. I don't know why there would be an appeal of some dude in a t-shirt going,
where's my favorite watch of the year? And I really like the lug width. And
it's like, well, that's not that good advertising for a manly piece of jewelry. I don't know. Am I being prick right now? I probably am. Typical. Anyway. Quit while you're ahead, O'Malley. Stop getting yourself in trouble. Daniel, greetings from Germany. Congrats on 300k. Thank you, man. We'll be 500k by now. I know if I shut my mouth. You're right, DJ. You're right. Happy to challenge the always informed opinions of your eminently qualified guests and to be yourself challenged. Yes. Yeah. Oh, last night was a good stream. It was nice. It was a good chat. Interesting chat. Spike the dog. Congrats. Everyone's having a good day so far. It's a Sunday night, guys. It's been a streamy weekend. I did Friday. I did last night just because of that news that broke. And then I said, okay, I better do 300 while it's still 300. The Clan Buchanan, best wishes from East England. Excuse me. Do you surge and watch cigars, alcohol, and a little politics? What's not to like? Thank you for saying that. It's a nice thing to say, but if you'll allow me, I think it goes beyond that. I talk about science. I talk about history. I talk about culture. There's a lot of music on the channel. Music is a huge player. There's a lot of travel. And yeah. And then the things you mentioned. But yes, I suppose watches are kind of the center, the keystone of the whole thing. Thank you, DJ. Rory Jackson, congrats, loving the content and commentary, man. Thank you. 301k, yeah, it's just because it's flying up now. I think I got some subs out of it. I thought I was going to lose a lot of subs last night. But actually, I think I gained some because, it was a topical subject. So people are they're going on YouTube and they're typing in, Maduro or Venezuela or whatever. I'm probably I was coming up in their top 50 hits or whatever. And some people were probably clicking on it going, what are these guys talking about, And we were talking about it. And I was showing the Al Jazeera reports live. And so I think we got some newbies coming in last night who probably don't give a shit about watches at all. Rufus, has that Vacheron Constantin left your wrist? Beautiful watch. Well, it has, but it is probably my favorite watch at the moment. And I swear to God, guys, the camera, even though those look beautiful, doesn't even do it justice. I swear to God, like I looked down at it, I was at the restaurant earlier and I looked down, just read the time. Look at all the ash on my cigar. Just to read the time, and I was like, Jesus, that thing. Just the color of the rose gold that Vacheron use. Just class. This thing is just a next level of class. And Vacheron, as we all know, is top tier. It is a beauty. It is. Birminghard, congrats on 300. Thank you, man. Well deserved. Thanks, dude. You were there since way back when I had 50, right? QMC seamlessly coexist and punch well above your weight in various often seemingly incongruent, very good word, and never straightforward realms, but always makes others ponder. Hey, that's good. If I can share some info, I will. You know, there are some people, I mean, talking about last night's stream, which was purely political, geopolitics centered. But no one claiming to be an expert. It's just commentary. There are some in the audience who, you know, they're very different to me politically. You know, they don't agree. But they're like, I don't care. I'm still going to watch because it's food for thought. I might learn something. And if, you know, at very least, I'll chime in the comments and go, you guys don't know what you're talking about, or whatever. You know, it's at least some sort of interaction. Most of us like to watch content that tells us we're right, you know. You know, if you're watching Tucker Carlson or you're watching, I don't know, you want to hear stuff that makes you feel better about your opinion. It's hard to watch stuff that doesn't. But if you can suffer through it, I think you know, it can be informative. Having said that, I have attempted to watch, you know, Fox News for a couple of hours or whatever, and it's quite taxing on the mind and the soul. That's when you really need a drink. But you can also learn things, you know. From a cultural perspective, there's things to be learned as well. Are you a watchmaker? Asked Maxi. I am not a watchmaker. If you know the channel because of maybe you're one of these people who came in last night and you're a new subscriber. I'm not a watchmaker, no. I have some watches that I sell kind of. I did a collaboration with a friend of mine here in Venice. I have one of them right here, actually. And you can find them on my website, MashimaValleyChannel.com. But I don't make one. A watchmaker is a guy who actually who opens a watch and he has the loop and he goes in and he can dismantle a watch and build a watch. And that's a different kind of thing. I'm an enthusiast and an opinionist. I wouldn't even call myself an expert, honestly. I'm just an enthusiast. I think where my strong points lie is sorry, I can't say the word. Portraying the watch or the various different watches in different complementary environments and romanticizing the idea of the watch or trying to capture the romance of the timepiece in context. So I do a lot of shooting around beautiful towns in Italy. I do live in North Italy, and there's a lot of beautiful architecture and surroundings here, and it just kind of adds to the, because if you took a beautiful, expensive timepiece and put it on a counter in a Dunkin' Donuts somewhere outside of Boston, it would just kill the romance of the piece. But here you have a lot of beautiful backgrounds that tend to kind of match and complement the vision of this timepiece and encompass the history. And then I'm fairly handy with a camera as well. So I'm able to, hopefully capture and augment the feeling, I suppose is the word, the feeling you get when you put a beautiful timepiece on your wrist. Because I really think it's about that. It's not even about accurate timekeeping. We have that on our phones. We don't need that anymore. It's about a feeling. As many people who will scoff at the big brands like Patek, AP, and Rolex in particular, it is undeniable when you finally put that Rolex on your wrist, the feeling that you get by knowing that you have a perfectly crafted piece of machinery, which also makes you look better, because watches, just like a beautiful suit or a well-tied necktie or a nice shiny pair of shoes, a beautiful or a fresh haircut, a beautiful timepiece will augment your look and your stature and your sophistication, your riz, as they say, your charisma. It'll bring things up like that. And some watch channels focus on the details of just technical information, and they're great channels, and they're very useful to know specifications of the inside of a watch or the measurements and things like that. Other channels lean more into the feeling side, and I think that's probably where I reside. Have I explained that well? I hope so. Dean, watch out. Adrian Barker not far behind. Well, this is an interesting point you bring up, Dean. I don't think I'm going to go a whole lot. Somebody said it earlier, next up, 500,000. I don't think, it's unlikely I'll get there unless I branch out into something else, or something alongside, because I think that the watch only crowd is only about 400,000 people strong at any point. And if you have more than 400,000 subscribers, you're either buying them and tricking the system, or you have a broader appeal. You cover other things. So let's take a producer Michael, for example. Bad example, but whatever. It's the first one that came to mind. He doesn't just do watches. His watch videos are very big, but he also does big fancy mansions in the LA area and fancy cars and the kind of wealthy lifestyle stuff. So it's not just watch people who will subscribe. When you broaden and Nico, for example, there's a lot of people who just tune in to see him scoff at some celebrity and his fake watch or whatever. And maybe they don't even know much about watches or care much about timepieces or the history of any of that. They just want to see the fat guy yell and curse, and they get a kick out of it. So it's quite clever, and it's a great way to broaden your audience. So if I don't know, one of my videos about something else went a bit more viral, and I wound up being invited on some talk show to talk about something or whatever. Let's say the Italian broadcasting system discover me and go, oh, this guy lives in Venice and he's Irish and he's interesting. He's walking around Venice. Let's get him on our TV and ask him what it's like to live in, and he speaks Italian, and they find that interesting. Let's say something like that. Then you'd get a lot of new people who don't give a shit about timepieces, and now you've just broadened your audience. But I think if you stick to watches primarily and you reach 380,000 subs, I think that's the end of the road. I don't think you'll ever, from what I've observed, I don't think there's much beyond that. There just simply are not millions or tens of millions of people interested. It's a very niche thing. If I did a travel episode that exploded, for example, it was just, I don't know, the BBC featured it or something, and next thing people are tuning in to see what food I like and what wine I like and which, what's it like to live in Venice. That's such a broader subject than wristwatches. There's a much more mass appeal, to become like an Anthony Bourdain kind of person or whatever. You know what I mean? So, Dave Parry, 2177, £30. Thanks, man. Many thanks for the content over the years. So fantastic achievement. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the super chat. So generous. Vasilos, congrats. Thank you, man. QM's coming in with a lot of comments. Thank you, sir. Dean, Brit Pierce is 54K subscribers. You don't count. Cheers. I don't know. Whatever. Yesterday's stream was great, Jeffy. Oh, well, that's good to hear. I didn't know because there's a lot of haters in the chat. They tend to be quite loud. That crowd. TDS. That's their favorite thing. Their whole world changed when that terminology was coined. Steerpike, thank you, man. John Burr, hard to understand what drives numbers, subject or personality. Young Irish busker Ali Sherlock, 6.3 million subs. Yeah, she's a very good singer on the streets of Dublin. Yes. And people really like a good singer, And she's just busking on the streets of Dublin. Yeah. Everybody likes a good song. That's a very broad thing. Chelsea 2025. That was Archie Luxury. I don't know what you're referring to. Sorry. Andre. Thank you, man. I know where you're standing in that photo. Patrick Cullen. Great accomplishment and well deserved. Thank you. Brian, thank you. Clan Buchanan. All you are is authentic. Well, I've nothing left to lose, do I? I'm not 21 looking to build a career. I'll be lucky if I last another 8 years. Dave Parry. What's the plan for 2026? Well, as I said in one of my videos the other day, I'd like to do fewer live streams and more real content, more of the kind of built, edited stuff with the music and stuff. I'm more proud of that stuff. Live streams to me are easy and lazy, I know you guys like it when I'm out on the streets and I'm walking around because it can be very spontaneous. But I prefer structuring like movie style stuff. That's where my heart is. Brendan Boswell, only 73 likes. Yeah, guys, hit the like button for God's sake. Hit the thumbs up. It's down here on the bottom. Right down here. Don't be lazy, guys. Come on. I'm here for you. QMT 80 science, history, travel. Yeah. And Jason and the women. Well, I have had some incredible women on the channel, haven't I? I have had some very interesting ladies, very, very pretty and interesting ladies on the channel. I will have that new one coming up soon, the Maria one. She's a bit of a pain in the arse, but she's not hard to look at. Fabio, buon anno. Auguri, Fabio. Watch for me. $50 super chat. Wow. What a legend. Thank you, man. Happy New Year. Thanks for being with us on a Sunday. Back to work tomorrow in the USA. I know tomorrow is kind of like officially everyone's back to work. It's a little depressing. Back to reality, guys. We all get to have our little dreamscape. Those days between Christmas and New Year's are so blank, aren't they? They're so, you don't know what to do with yourself. You don't know if it's to get some work done, or you don't know if the post guy is going to deliver. Is it just like a I heard someone describe it as like the skin between your anus and your scrotum. It's kind of no man's land out there. It's just space. Yeah. So you kind of get to live a little Christmas holiday. And of course, there's the leftovers, all the booze that you didn't quite get to, all the reheats of the food that was left over from the big banquet of Christmas night. And that drags out for several days. And then you kind of do it all again for New Year's night. It's a great time of year. Honestly, it really is. But yeah, I think tomorrow is back to reality, guys, unfortunately. Men's 1231, you need to post more watch reviews. Do a fair amount of them, man. A couple of hundred on there. Brad Crozier, were you wearing your VC Trump watch last night on last night's show? I think I was, yeah. The square. Is that here somewhere? I don't know. Yes, I think I was. Do you like it? He's referring to the Historique Ultra Fine. It's one of Trump's favorite watches. He's the only, notable character that wears one. It's the only reason I mention it. Paul. Excuse me. Christopher Ward, C12 Loco or Nomos Club Pneumatique for the next watch. Listen, Christopher Ward are a respectable, affordable brand. There's no doubt. They do make nice watches. They put their watches together very well. I don't want to shit on Christopher Ward. They're okay. They're decent. I've had a couple in the house, and I've seen many, and they're fine, But they're not. Nomos is a whole other thing. Nomos is made in Glashütte. Like that's a different level of watch. I also think the Loco is overpriced. So if you need me to tell you, I would say, if you need my input, I'd say without a doubt, the Nomos. It's a different caliber of watch. I mean, I believe Nomos are all in-house. Mind you, the Loco is in-house as well. But the Loco for Christopher Ward, I just feel like the Loco is overpriced. I wouldn't spend that kind of money on a Christopher Ward. However, Christopher Wards are, they're decent for their price and all of that. I don't want to shit on them. Sergio, congratulations, great achievements. Ray, women. Can't forget about the ladies and the booze. Yeah, some of the ladies' videos are your favorites. Geez, that Polina videos perform better than so many of my other videos. Steer Pike, I agree. Paul Krantz, and stay away from politics. Take your pants off. I don't know. You want to tell me what I'm going to do? I'll tell you what to do. You know, I don't know. Stick your dick in a bowl of porridge. I don't know. Seeing as we're telling each other what to do. Your videos are great. It's in photography and music. Thanks, user SC6M. I can't even. Why do names come up like that? AG, I'll just say. That's what's in your picture there. Thank you, man. Sweets. $4.99. Thanks. Happy New Year. Here's to a great 2026. Same to you. Same to you, my friend. Oh, yay. Ruben Perez. I have a green Sky Dweller. I paid $26K. But I'm always worrying about getting it damaged, stolen, or lost. So I'm really considering getting a super clone. Ooh. Oh, God. That's an ugly subject. So you want to get... I'm going to take some guesses here. You don't want to replace it with a super clone. I hope. Jesus. I hope. But what you want to do is get a super clone so you can wear it kind of most days, and then on special days wear the real one. I hope that's what you mean. Because if you mean the other, I don't know what to tell you. You know what? Years ago, I used to think that. I used to think if you spend 10 grand or 20 grand on a watch, why put on a G-Shock or something on the weekdays? You know, why not wear a watch that you like that looks good on your wrist, but then doesn't have as much risk or whatever? You can damage it, lose it, whatever. Doesn't matter. So you could get the super clone or the clone and wear it. And then at the weekends, wear the real one, you know. And if you're ever in a bar and they say, is that a real Rolex? You can, you know, if you only had the clone, you'd have to either be honest and look pathetic or lie and feel pathetic. Or if you have it, if you have the real one at home, you can always make a very boss move and say, actually, no, it's not real. I have the real one at home. I don't wear it during the week. You know, I'm not wearing it to a bar like this. But the truth of the matter is, this is all in theory. It sounds good, right? You have a kind of a decoy or you have a replacement that you don't have to worry about. But the truth is, if you wear that thing, that super clone, it'll just stink on your wrist, even if it's a really good clone. It doesn't matter what people think. It matters what you know. You know it's not real. So every time you look at it, you'll think, ugh, you know. That's the truth of it. It'll just feel dirty. You'll wind up taking it off, putting it in your pocket. So either wear the real thing or wear something else cheaper watch, more modest watch that's at least a real watch. So you don't feel like a lump of garbage, because unfortunately that's just what clones are. And I don't care how great you think. A lot of people write to me going, you want to see the new super clones? They're amazing. I'm sure they can get pretty scary. But what I've seen a few come through my friend's store here that were pretty convincing at first. But the truth is, you spend a few minutes with them and then you begin to feel it. you know, you wind the crown or whatever. The cracks begin to show pretty quickly. I don't care what level of clone it is. You know, this is what you get a Seiko for, or something modest for during the week. That's my 2 cents. Watch for me. Keep the politics. It's fine. We have choices daily. Many of us are here for it all. I know, isn't it funny? I know. We were talking about this last night after we got off the air, actually. And the lads brought up some very interesting points. It's a funny thing because, I did the video with Paulina, right? We're in the square. We're not talking watches. We're talking everything else. We're having drinks. She's walking around. She's singing. Watches aren't really part of that video. I mean, there is one point where we hold up the watches, but that's just for a second. And we do go by a jeweler, but that's just she's trying on rings and so on. But not once did anyone say, stick to watches. No one said that. These stick to watches guys never said, yeah, nice video, beautiful woman, but stick to watches. No, because they were like, ugh, I want to marry her or whatever. And then, I make a documentary about World War II. Nobody writes in the thing going, that was really interesting documentary, but you should stick to watches, I did the Ireland thing, it's 2 90-minute documentaries back to back. It's 3 hours in total. Nobody ever wrote stick to watches in it. There's a couple of watches in there, but it's really a tiny, it's less than 1% of these videos. It's a big adventure around Ireland. Never hear from these guys. Because their problem isn't that I'm deviating from watches. I'm moving off of watches. Their problem is I'm saying things about politics that they are uncomfortable hearing. And rather than be a fucking man and say, I don't like what you said, I disagree with you, they run into the gentle embrace of stick to watches. They're cowards. It's not that they want you to stay away from politics. They want you to stay away from saying things in politics that they don't agree with. That's what their problem is. I encountered this years ago in with the music thing. I have a friend in New York who would complain about going to a concert, going to a U2 concert or whatever, and Bono talking about doing political speeches between songs. He's like, oh, just play the hits, I'm like, well, if Bono was saying the shit that you like, that fucking idea would never bubble up in your little brain, would it? So it makes me laugh when I hear that. But the lads last night were making a very good point. They were like, they must feel a certain amount of betrayal because they're looking for Rolex or something. They find your video. They watch the video and they're like, geez, this is good. This guy knows how to make a video. I like this guy. I mean, maybe they say that too. Maybe they're like, I like his style. He's living the good life. Blah, blah, blah. And they begin a little bit of what would you call it? They become slightly fans, maybe. And then I make a comment about where I am politically, and they feel betrayed. They feel like, oh my God, there's an enemy inside the gates. And then they probably have an identity crisis issue. Like John said last night, this was off air, but he said, like, it's like seeing some hot girl going, oh yeah, she's really beautiful. And then somebody says, that's actually not a girl, it's a tranny. Because some of these trannies are like, they're all dolled up and they have fake boobs and the whole thing. It's hard to you might get fooled. And then you'll get really mad because you were tricked, maybe, or whatever the way you feel. But also, maybe you feel like deep down inside, you think, am I gay? For liking her or whatever. You have a little bit of an identity crisis. So I feel like there's a lot of guys out there who are like, oh, my favorite channel is that Irish dude. And, oh, he made a video on the watch that I love, and it's the best video. And then they tune in one night, and I'm here going, I think Fidel Castro was great because he fucking fought off the man who was trying to turn his country into a fucking casino. And they're like, they feel like they think to themselves, oh my God, am I woke for liking him? They have a whole internal breakdown. And I just think it's fun. Meanwhile, for the longest time, I would watch channels, and they're all incredibly the opposite to me, and it never bothered me. I'd watch Archie, and he'd go on a bit. Archie's a fucking hard right conservative. Super, super conservative. I'd get a chuckle out of it. It wouldn't bother me. I wouldn't write to Archie. Archie, I like your videos, but Jesus, last night you said that thing about. It just never occurred to me to even make a comment like that. Because I'm not a child. I'm just like, yeah, all right, well, that figures that he would be like that. I'm fine. And I'm getting a kick out of it. Wouldn't bother me or make me feel insecure about my own, feelings. But anyway, the thing is, the channel has, when I went to Verona 4 years ago and I did the root beer video, I'm in Verona and I'm showing you guys Verona, and people love that video. It's very romantic, and Verona is very beautiful, and it suits the root beer. But I'm showing you things like Arco de Gavi, which was the original arch that led to Rome, and it was broken down by Napoleon and then rebuilt by Mussolini, of all people. That's political. I just spoke about something political. If you were a Mussolini fan, if you were a neo-fascista in Italy, your chest would swell with pride watching that, because you'd be like, yeah, Mussolini cared about the real Italia, I'm sure there are plenty of Italians who saw that bit and went, so I was already fucking political. You just didn't notice it, you shitwits. When I make the videos on World War II, the Allies and the Battle of Britain and all, you think that's not fucking political content? I know it's dedicated to a watch. There is a watch kind of dedicated to that sort, but I'm telling the story. The watch content part of it is only like 5% of the video. The rest of the video is the story behind this guy who died at the Battle of Britain or whatever. I think that's not fucking political. You can't get any more political than that. It's not partisan. It's not like Dems versus, it's not that. Some people ask me about Panerai, and I'm like, well, Panerai, a lot of Italians won't wear Panerai because of the history and its association with, with the fascist movement. You can't talk about these things without being political. And it doesn't bother anyone. As long as you talk about the Allies beating Hitler, no one will complain. And as long as you talk about Napoleon breaking down the Arco de Gavi in Verona and Mussolini rebuilding it, no one will complain. But the minute you mention anything slightly recent, then you have the guys going, you should just stick to what is. And I'm just like, oh my God, what's your fucking IQ? Do you even have one? Or are you completely brain dead? And if you are, how do you even watch my channel? Are you just impressed by the fancy colors? And what is it that you're getting out of it? Is it like Teletubbies? That's what I should do next time when anybody makes a comment like that. I should say, Rinky Dinky, Dipsy, La La, Po, Teletubbies. I'll just start singing Teletubbies and see if I just distract them. You know, they just go, ah, ah, ah. You know, because their two brain cells are just start rubbing off each other. Anyway. Daniel, very well done. Fine acknowledgement, superb content. Thank you so much, man. This is nice. Root beer. Congrats on 300. John Smith got a copy of that Submariner book for Christmas. You should enjoy it. It's right here. I guess you saw it. It's right here as a gift from a viewer. How amazing was that? And it's got the sub, the 124060 on the cover, the icon. Amazing. I don't actually own one of those right now. I should get one. Watch for me. Got an Amazon link for the Submariner book from Reddit. It arrived yesterday. It's dense. How much was it? I'm just curious. Just curious. Dr. Cornbread, $5 Canadian. Thank you. I know you're a big Seiko fan. I am. But do you have any thoughts on the mechanical Tissot PR516? Seems a little pricey to me, but I would buy a used one. 516. Let me look it up. Jesus, it's $2,000, man. No, get a used. You get a used Omega or something. Sorry, I just like Tissot. I have respect for, but no, not for $2,000 is too much. It's a nice watch. I'm not gonna lie, but no, sorry. I mean, you're asking me, so this is my opinion. Don't mind me if you don't care. Just ignore me. Those slope dials seem a little high. I don't know. Meh. No, go into the used. Go on Chrono and get a used Omega or something for $2,000, or add a little. Go 2.5. Go the extra stretch and get yourself a real, better brand. Sorry. Nothing wrong with Tissot. I'm just saying. Please and thank you. Who knows, man? I feel like you're at 247 forever, and then boom. Yes, things spiked because some of my videos started spiking. It helps when you have sexy Russian opera singers on your channel. Horological David Brent, says PH. Don't think I look much like him, but I'll take it as a compliment. Steer Pike, do you think that buying your first Rolex video pushed you? It might. That got a lot of subs too. Because think of all the new people who probably came to the table. You guys didn't need that information. You all know the drill with buying your first Rolex. The drill with ADs and the gray mark. Kind of made it for the newbie. So anybody discovering the watch world or considering buying their first Rolex probably came to the table with that. It does have a lot of views. I haven't checked it, but I think it has over 100K in views. And it should, because it's like a lot of people are going to look for video like that. Yeah. DJ, not a huge MAGA guy, but I can't deny politics feel more eventful when Trump is in the picture. Yeah, he's definitely entertaining. I keep wondering what we'd be talking about now if Kamala had won. Probably nothing. She's so fucking boring. Certainly there would have been a live stream. Wouldn't have been a live stream yesterday. You never know. I personally think all these people are the same. London Rob 2020, thanks for the content load yesterday's chat. Your brother's top guy. Yeah, he's a pretty smart guy. Pretty smart. Lauren Fignon, all watch YouTubers became so boring. Thanks for keeping it exciting. Well, at least you can say that. There's never a dull moment, right? Even if I'm offending you, right? Can you imagine? I was like, welcome back to my channel. This week, I'm going to talk about my Vacheron. These are 5 reasons why this is my favorite watch of 2026. And I can imagine I was one of those. Oh, God, help us and save us. No, thanks. Poker Rich, free Iran. So we can turn it into a McDonald's. So the Iranians can lose their culture and all get fat and hate themselves and start shooting each other like Americans do. Got it. Andy London, 1972. Your brother was very well informed during yesterday's stream. That's why I asked him. He's very well informed about a great many things, but he has been down to Central America and South America a lot because he used to play. He played in my band for 25 years, and we did a lot of touring, and we saw a lot of the world. But then things took a step up when he got the job as main lead guitarist for Enrique Iglesias, and that guy's a worldwide phenomenon. And my brother was on stages you wouldn't believe. He played Wembley Stadium to 70,000 people. Like, he did an insane amount of touring, and Enrique sells records absolutely everywhere in the globe. And of course, being a kind of a Latino artist is super huge in South America and Central America. And my bro is not the kind of guy, if you're in a band like that and you're on tour and you're going from town to town throughout the world, you could just stay on the tour bus or in the hotel or in the catering area behind the stage with the band. You don't have to go out and see where you'll see the people you're playing to from the stage, but you don't have to immerse yourself in the culture. A lot of people say that Dua Lipa looks like she's always on holiday. How come she's always on vacation? And she recently, over the Christmas, she's like, I'm not. I'm touring. I just make an effort to go see the town and the surrounding areas. And if I'm in a place near the water, I like to go to the beach during the day before my show. She likes to get her teeth into the surrounding place. And my brother did exactly that. He played 1,000 gigs with this guy over 7 or 8 years and saw literally everywhere on the planet. He had already seen a fair amount of it with our band, but like there's a whole new level. And he would check into the hotel, drop his bags, do a sound check, and then have 3 hours to waste before the show. So he'd be like, I'm going into the town. I want to fucking try the local food and check out the stuff. And a couple of the times in South America and Central America, I can't remember exactly where. Maybe I'll have him on again to talk about these stories. But I remember him telling me stories where he would say, I want to go into the city here. We're here in this venue that's outside the city. I want to go in and see the people and go to some little cafe, or I want to immerse myself. And the crew would be like, it's dangerous. This is a dangerous place in the world. And they would have to escort him. They'd have to get him into a van and bring him, and he'd have to have a guard near him because he could be abducted or whatever. And he said I think he was somewhere in Central America, and there was some fucking big protest, and he was loving it because he got to see a, South American or Central American protest on the streets, the people out there yelling at whatever dictatorship or whatever CIA cutout, as he would say, was put in power. He's well read. He understands the history, and he understands geopolitics. So he's not just he's not just wandering, brainlessly through some town. He'll know a lot about the town. He'll even pick up some of the lingo, the language. So he's a kind of a culturally elevated guy, But I thought of him yesterday. I was going to have Blakely on, but they were otherwise engaged with something else. They were asking me to come back on a couple of weeks ago, but they weren't going to make it for the show. But I thought then, my bro knows a lot about, and he's been to Venezuela many, many times. And he loves the Venezuelan people, and he loves their food, and he loves their culture. I mean, how many of you guys have actually been to Venezuela more than once, or even once? I haven't, So it was nice to have. And then, of course, John is fairly well versed in geopolitics himself. So it was decent company. I was the ignoramus out of the three of us. I knew the least. But I have 300,000 subs, so that's why I make up for it on the back end. Andrea, you were wearing Speedy. Yeah, I was wearing the 861, the 145022 Holy Grail. QMT, you live the live you did with the I can't read. The live you did with the opera singer and her impromptu performance in the busy piazza, and you became her cameraman, was one of those moments. You only get that on a live. Yeah. Well, I figured out that if I do these videos that are like with these girls, we can do a montage, we can walk around the city, we can do some shopping. Then we'll do the fashion shots. If you look at the Carissa videos, the same. We're walking around, we're having fun, we're trying on stuff, we go shopping for fragrances and so on. And then there's the glamour shots where she's just standing there looking like a little angel and, flicking her hair. And there are glamour shots. That's a whole other shot. And then you do the sit down where you chat and you just, have a few drinks, you loosen up and you just chat about whatever. You talk for a couple of hours, and then later I'll get into edit and pick all the best moments. So it was the same with Paulina. We did exactly that. You saw the glamour shots. They're very obvious. And boy, did she just turn it on for that, man. She knew exactly what she was doing. She was very professional. And then the walking around and trying on the jewelry. And then the live stream, it turned out it was good to do the live stream where she could interact with the audience and I could just film it and then pick all the best moments later. So then you put together a little entertaining little show between those few different things. But you're right. Like if it wasn't live, it would have been less magical. 209. Instead of faking it, get a nice Seiko. I think he's referring to the chap earlier about the Sky Dweller. And I agree. I concur. There's so many nice, decent, respectable Seikos that you can wear during the week. And at the weekend, you can put on your Sky Dweller if you're afraid of banging it. Tommy BSLO, really like your content. What do you think about Janot watches? I was offered one of those years ago. They're okay. Yeah, decent. They seem decent. I don't know much about them, honestly, but I was offered one years ago. And I was considering it, and I was like, eh. But they seem okay for their price. You got to keep the price in mind, you know. There's no point in comparing it to a Patek because they're completely different worlds, you know. It's unfair. 7 Rivers, congrats to 300K. Thank you. That one video where you use Sinatra, You Go to My Head, was fantastic. Yeah, that's the video with the Cartier Drive and the Chiara Nardo, the CN Orology. And then I just walk around Venice and go to the supermarket and go get my pants, my trousers, my slacks adjusted, and just kind of show you guys some normal living. But funnily enough, during those moments where I'm in the supermarket showing you guys prices of local produce, there were people writing going, hey, stick to watch it. No, I'm kidding. Not a fucking peep out of them. I wonder why. Gee whiz, I wonder how this works. Thank you, 7 Rivers. Congrats to you on your videos. I also like to do something from Venice. Stay as you are. Saluti, the Holger. Where's Holger? Stunt Watch. Yeah. Sweets. Appreciate you having the conversations this year. Others refuse to. That's a nice thing to say. Thank you, man. Congrats from Hitesh. Velviman. Sorry, but fake watches are for fake people. Well, what he means, what that viewer meant earlier, is that he has the real watch. You know, I don't think he's replacing it with a fake. And it's not like he can only afford a fake. He has the expensive Sky Dweller. But he's nervous about wearing it every day and doesn't want to get it scratched and stuff. So he was thinking he could get an exact replica or close to it, replica, and wear that during the week and then put on the special one at the weekends. Or at least that's what I'm assuming he means. I'm assuming he means that. And it sounds like a perfectly good idea, honestly, but it isn't. It's not. When you have the fake on, it just feels. I have a couple of fakes in the house because I bought them for those videos, and then you can't sell them because you're stuck with them. Then one of my biggest videos is a real versus fake video, and it doesn't matter how close they are. The ones I have here aren't very good. One of them already stopped years ago, just died. They're garbage, But they appear at first glance to be the real thing. It's all about appearances. You won't feel it under your fingertips, when you have the real one in your hand, you can feel the craftsmanship. You won't. There'll be something wrong, even in a good one. You'll feel that there's something up, there's something awry. And there's just no point in wearing it out because what's the point? It might look pretty much the same, but it won't to you. To others, it will. But who cares about to others? You'll know it's a fake, and that's enough. Just take it off. buy a nice Seiko, buy a Hamilton or something, or a Gino, like I was mentioning, or something a bit more modest, and say, okay, these are my modest days of the week. And I'll wear my, expensive one on Sunday. If that's what you want to do. Or if you can afford it, just wear your favorite watch every day and take the risk and let it get a little scratched up. Why not? It's part of most of these watches are stainless steel anyway. They're not getting battered up, It's so funny because the watch I wore most probably in 2023 was the Gold Bluesy. That was my daily. Like, I have way cheaper watches. I don't have the Gold Bluesy anymore. I switched it out, but I had a good run with that watch. And when on the days where I just couldn't decide which watch to wear, I'd just put that on. I'd wear it with pajamas. I'd wear it with anything. I roamed Ireland up and down with a rain jacket on, the fucking Gold Bluesy. It was just my daily. It became a kind of a battered kind of daily. A fucking solid gold watch. Isn't that crazy? But I'm glad I did that. I'm kind of proud I did that because they're supposed to be worn. If you can't afford to wear them, or if you can't wear them, maybe you can't afford to wear them. Maybe you can't afford the watch in the first place. Maybe you shouldn't have the watch in the first place. That's a whole other discussion. How's Z60? The video made of it trying to buy Rolex after Brit's video was hilarious. I know. I was just like, if you listen to these YouTubers, you'd think they were giving away watches at the AD that they couldn't sell them. Meanwhile, the reality is quite different. Now they're just looking for clicks, these people. They get more and more desperate every day. Jocelyn Bittenbetter, great to see you, darling. $20. And she's a member. Congrats on 300K. Thank you, darling. Your gift is your creative content. But we do also enjoy a lively Friday night chat. I don't mind political discussions. It's healthy to have your views challenged. I voted for more German. I vote for more German watch content. Okay. Thanks, darling. Yeah, I'm very, I like putting together nice, arty content with the music and stuff. That's my favorite stuff to make. Please, thank you. Like you said, they can go stick it in a bowl of porridge. I know, I just think it's funny. Like, would you walk up to someone and say, wear that blue coat. Stop wearing that black coat. Wear the blue coat. They'd look at you and go, fuck off. I'll wear whatever fucking coat I want. Get out of here. But people are fine writing me. Stay away from politics. Okay, that's cool. Stay away from your fucking ma. How about that? The thing is, we're telling each other what to do. I haven't taken orders from anyone since I was a fucking kid in school. Thank you very much. How about you stay away from the channel? There's a great idea. Archie's a conservative, but Paul is a leftist, says Canuck Watch Collector. Paul Pluda, the real Archie? He's not. He's right. He's right every way, up and down. But that's fine. I'm just saying that it never bothered me. It wouldn't get under my skin. I still enjoyed his channel. I still had a good chuckle at him. He knows a lot about watches. I wasn't going to take any of that. And I certainly wasn't going to write to him going, Archie, I like your watch content, but, when you say Trump, it offends me. I'm not a fucking 6-year-old. Talking Timepieces with Tony. That's a really good channel. If that's the real Tony, you guys should follow him. If you like my honest content, my just I don't know, earnest nature of just being a straight shooter, you'll like him because he's the same. Talking Timepieces with Tony. He's not gonna bullshit you. I think he's an ex-musician as well, like myself. He's just giving a straight and forward opinion. You should check out his channel. Give him a sub. He has some nice watches too. Thank you, man. If you're the real guy, I think you probably are. And if you're not, thank you anyway. But Carlos, congrats on 300,000 subs. This channel is by far one of the most cultured independent channels on YouTube. That's a very nice thing to say. Thanks for saying that. Feels a bit syrupy, me reading compliments about my own channel, but it's very nice to get them. You have to be careful as well, like not to pay too much attention to the detractors. I'm wasting time here saying, people who tell me to whatever, stay away from politics or whatever. Meanwhile, they're like 1 in 100 or 1 in 600. And the rest of you guys are like, we don't have a problem with it. Why is he talking? Why is he giving that guy attention when he's just a shitwit? The rest of us are here loving everything, You have to be careful with that. Not to give too much time and oxygen to the detractors and focus more on everyone else. Who are you telling on, Matt? Are you telling us or are you telling yourself? I'm telling myself. Sorry, I'm talking to myself right now. You have to be careful about that. Oshin. Andrew, hey man, congratulations. How much now? Working. Have fun. Yeah, watch the rerun later, man. Yes. Philip, I prefer the watch videos, but I don't care if you do anything else. Be fantastic or not. Or I'll watch something else in that case. Keep on being you. Yeah, there you go. That's nice and easy. You come on and I'm talking to people about something else. You go, oh yeah, this is interesting. Or you can say, nah, I'll skip this one. I'll watch the next one. Fine. All I'm saying is it's not that I'm not talking about watches that bothers people. I've yet to find a person who clicked accidentally on the Polina video and then turned it off because it wasn't about watches. I think they watched the whole video. Me gets the feeling they stuck around somehow. That's all I'm saying. Ah, yes. Hey, there's Sean. Big friend of the channel. Sean, you're in my video, the end of the year video. Just a quick moment, but I came across that footage and I was like, there's Sean. I'm going to put him into the edit. Congrats. Your content and channel deserves to be in the millions. Thanks, man. Meeting up with a couple of friends shortly. First drink will be to you. Thank you, Sean. You know what? I've met some really lovely people in the watch world, and that guy is one of them. Raya, bring Emmett on for more political commentary. Yeah, I will. Yeah, he's great. Right. Emmett is way more grounded than you. Yeah, Emmett's sort of like a real person. I'm a lunatic. I'm not fully. Emmett's just a regular. He's just got his. All the plugs are in the right holes. I'm like fucking spaghetti. Oh, guys, for some reason, I don't remember your brother in Enrique Iglesias. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Do you remember anyone in the band? Because most people, when they go to Enrique Iglesias show, they look at Enrique Iglesias and they ignore the band. Joe on bass with his big hair. Van on the drums. All the boys. Well, you need proof. Just go look up any fucking videos of him live that were, because he left that band, I don't know. Jesus, maybe 10 years ago at this point. But yeah, there's a lot of footage. There's one Enrique. Where is this one? There's one in Georgia that was like fucking massive. I mean, he did massive, even bigger shows than this, but this one was pretty. I remember seeing the footage. Yeah. I think I can share this over. I won't play the music because I don't want to get in trouble. This one just came up on Facebook. There's Emmett there on the left. That's a bit far away to see, but you'll see. He's sitting next to Joe. Joe's such a lovely guy. Always felt bad though because the bass was so down in the mix. Never really hear. There's Em on the left. Recognizing. Boom, there you go. There's your confirmation. That's their acoustic part of the set. Anyway, just for any of the trolls who are like, he's talking shit. It's amazing to me to think that they think, I mean, I may be a little bit I may have a few screws loose, but I'm not invent shit that's easily disproven. Andrew Jay Hancock, just been watching your Mr. North channel. What happened to Colin Smith? He's his own singer now. You'll find his channel somewhere if he has one. I think he does. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Great singer. Still performs around the New York area, I believe. And yeah, he put out a couple of solo records after the band, and even before the band broke up. That's not healthy for a band, by the way, when you start making your own records. It's a bit like your girlfriend starts going on dates with other guys, or your wife, you know. It's over. That's not a healthy atmosphere. Just in case you're ever in that position. I think he's still doing stuff, performing, singing. He's definitely a great singer, good writer as well. Odd Eyes. Now I remember their brother did an acoustic piece with Enrique. It was more flamenco style. Yeah, he did some stuff. There were some moments where it was just like him, because he's a really good performer, and he would kind of like lead the band as lead guitarist and so on. Yeah, it's a pretty important role. When he decided to leave, it was for his own family because he was spending too much time away, and for the health of his own, domestic situation. He was like, I've got to quit. I'm going to go into production and so on, which he did. But Enrique begged him to stay, offered him more money and everything, but he had to turn it down because he was just like, no, I want to focus on my family. So John L. Richard, happy 301k. Don't stick to watches. Herb, happy New Year to you too. Is that your watch? I like your watch. Massive congrats on subs. Thank you. What's the poison for the party? I just have a little bit of, I don't have much in the house. I feel embarrassed. I should have gotten something special. I just wasn't sure if I was going to do it this soon, because I was sure I was going to lose about 1,000 subs last night. But I don't think I did. I think I gained subs. I certainly did, but I'm just saying. It's Valentine's. Cheap scotch, guys. $12 at the store. An honest, simple, blended Scotch whiskey. It's fine. I've had all the great shit in my life. I should get through the chat here faster. DJ, member for 20 months. Been here since Vicenza days. Rock on. Vicenza. I've been back there in ages. Watch for me. $10. Submariner book was $38. Easy pickup. Saw it here first. Okay. Yeah, it's a beautiful, it's a gorgeous, like, coffee table book, isn't it? It's just amazing to see a book published by Rolex themselves. They're so secretive. Nice one. A pleasing thank you makes a good point. So many great watches for what a super clone might cost. Don't super clones cost $700-800? You can get a good watch for that money without getting a super clone. I don't know. You'll just feel dirty with it in the house. Trust me, man. It's not going to work. As I said, I bought a few of them years ago from some shady guy in Vicenza for content. I had my 116710 the 6710 LN, the GMT, the all black. And I had my sub, so I bought the clones of both of those and I made videos comparing, because I figured, well, this is going to be good for the channel. And I was right. One of them kind of exploded. The other one didn't. The other one was posted like a week after and it didn't do much. But that one did. Mind you, I haven't checked in a long time. But those things they've been sitting around just gathering dust because who fucking cares, Daniel Katz, Pope wears modest watch any day. NH the Professor, $20 on it. He's a member. This is very nice. Super Chat Sunday. Celebration Sunday. Super sticker, $20. Thank you, man. $500K, get a Patek and give away a Rolex to a fan. Really? Is that how you do it? Is that how you get to 500K? You do a Rolex giveaway? Maybe I should do like CRM jewelers do. They have people enter. You've got to pay like $100 or $50 or something just to enter. And then the winner gets like $100,000 of watches. They can choose whatever they want. They fly down to Miami and meet them. And but they've probably made the $100,000 on the the entry fees. Some people are entering more than once. They're buying 5 or 6 tickets. So I guess it's paying for itself. I could probably do something similar and give away a Rolex. I don't think I can afford to just give away a Rolex without anything like that. Should I change watch? So there's the VC. Say goodbye. You want to see her up close? You ready for this? Boom. There are few watches in the world that look like that, my friends. Wait for the back. Kaboom. Good enough. Super stunner with, of course, the gold butterfly clasp, all in rose gold. What should I put on next? I should probably put on, if I have it here nearby, the watch that started it all, right? The Omega. There she is. Right there. Omega Seamaster 300M. The watch that got me in all this trouble. Gonna wind her up, wake her up. User SC. How did Polina get on the video? I just asked her. I was just like, do you want to shoot a video with me walking around? She's like, sure, let's do it. She's a singer and a performer. You put a camera on her, she starts smiling. She loves the attention, you know, and all the compliments in the chat. And so she loves that stuff. You know? When Roman Polanski was getting Mia Farrow to do Rosemary's Baby, she was in a deep relationship with Frank Sinatra at the time. And they were away on holiday. And she turned Polanski down because Polanski was a bit of a predator anyway. And Sinatra didn't trust him. He's like, if he gets her on that set, he's going to try and sleep with her. So Sinatra, he put the clamp down. He's like, I don't want you going there and doing that. You're on holiday with me. You don't need to do that guy's movie. And then Polanski, famously, on a phone call, said that this could be one of the great roles of her career and will probably be Oscar bait. She could be in the running for an Oscar for a role like this. Well, she packed her bags and flew to New York to film. The vanity of the lady. Don't underestimate it, guys. Honestly, by the time we got on that live with Polina, she had been shooting all day. It was tiring. She was here with the film festival. And, you know, she had quite an eventful week. But, you know, you get on live and it's full of you guys going, holy shit, who's this beauty, you know? And then I woke her up pretty quick. And the next thing she's singing, and it's like, oh my God. I'm in the background winking, going, you're welcome. The watch is set and the watch is running. It's the watch that started it all. Beautiful thing. Gorgeous diver from Omega. More watch than any man needs. Targa Florio. Congrats on 300k. Thank you, man. Enjoy the content and the lives. You see, most people just like it all. If it's not your favorite thing, even when I'm bad, I'm pretty good, right? I'm like pizza. Even when it's not good, it's still pretty good. Or even when it's bad, it's like, even if you're not, like even last night, if it wasn't your sort of thing, you're still listening to some smart guy. I'm not saying I'm smart. The other two guys are smart. You're still listening to some smart and well-informed guys talking. You could be watching some brainless horseshit. So even if it's not exactly your cup of tea, you still might get something out of it. And then just wait for another episode to come around that suits you more. DG, solid gold answer, of course. Has to be in the bank. The VC is gorgeous. How many millimeters? It is. It's not a small watch. The VC is, I believe it's 42. Looks right on me, but yeah, it's not for a dainty wrist. Yeah, that's a stunner. Still have the Patek World Timer, guys, in rose gold if anybody wants it. And I have the Breguet Tourbillon if anybody wants it. If you want one of these monumental stunners, you have the chance to get one at an extraordinary price. As I said, I grabbed 3 of them. I'm like, I'm not letting at these prices. I'm not letting these slip by. These are monumental pieces. Just reach out to me. I'll send you photos and prices. Blinky, congrats. Thank you, man. Brad Cozier, will you be in your apartment next month? I think the move-in is probably 2 months away, at least 6 weeks away at this point. Things slowed down over the holidays. Some pieces that came for the bathroom were broken on delivery, so I had to arrange a pickup and reorder them. Fucking pain in my ass. And that was just before Christmas, so clearly. In fact, tomorrow morning I'm getting a delivery from those guys. They called me the other day. So, are we getting a video on the Vacheron? Yeah, you'll get a video on that and a video on the Breguet 7076, 7067. Yes, you will get videos on those. $41 says Sal. Yeah, where's like a 42, honestly? Korea already at 301. Yeah, some of the videos are getting a lot of views. I think this channel is on track to surpass 500. Now, I mentioned that earlier. I don't think any watch channel does that. Mind you, it isn't really. I mean, I do branch out, so maybe it has the potential to branch. Maybe I'll do some travel video that'll go viral for some reason. Or I'll do a political episode with John and get the call from Piers Morgan or something. And then you get a larger audience in. It's because the VC's white dial always seems 1 millimeter bigger. It's not white, but it's bright. Yeah, it's silver dial. Yeah. Silver color. Yes, the watch has started all. It's lovely, isn't it? People don't like the bracelet. I love the bracelet. If you had it in your hands and you felt how smooth it is, you'd know. Still a good watch. Yeah. Even make sure I didn't miss any super chats. Why are they all highlighted like that's funny? Birmingham Hard. Dave Parry, £30. Did I get that one? Thank you, sir. Yeah, I got that one. Back to work tomorrow. Thank you. Watch for me. Happy New Year. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anyone because sometimes that can happen. Yes, indeed. So nice. Sean. DG. Yeah, okay. I think I got them all. Yes. Just making sure. DJ, since Teddy didn't include you in this video, what was your most worn watch of 2025? That's a good question. There was a lot of change ups because during the summer I got the gold GMT and I started wearing that a lot. And then I started having the problem that our friend had earlier there, thinking about getting it scratched or dinged. I never had that issue with the bluesy because it was old. It's like that from the 90s, so I kind of didn't care as much. It's a good question. Good question. And then I had a lot of micro brands on my wrists, the Nomadics and the CN Orology. I was wearing a lot of those between things. It's nice having those watches around for the same reason as our friend had, the dilemma our friend had earlier. What to wear when you don't want to wear something mad expensive. Wore the Tudor, which I have here. I'll put that on. I don't have all the watches in the house at the moment. It's too dangerous. But I wore the Tudor a lot. I didn't wear this that much, actually. Pearl Seamaster gets ignored sometimes. I have the Tudor here. I'll stick that on. Panerai. Well, I just got the Panerai during the year, so that's hardly going to qualify, right? I wore it a fair amount, but then other watches came along. Honestly, when that gold GMT came along, kind of clouded out, suffocated everything else for a while. Wearing that a lot. You're on your way out the door and you're wondering, what watch will I wear? And there's a big fucking fat solid gold GMT just sitting there looking at you going, really? Is this really a question? I mean, they're nice and all, but like, look how big my boobs are. There's always that feeling as well. If you get hit by a car or something, you don't want to be wearing like some plastic thing. You want to have the sickest watch possible on. You'll be lying there like dying on the street, and then you're like, oh yeah, nice, and then continue to die. Okay, I can die. That's my carb. Sorry about that. You can tell I haven't worn the Tudor in a while. It needs winding as well. I had a momentary lapse of reason when I was like, oh, maybe I'll sell this. And people are like, no. And now that I haven't, I'm like, oh, wow, you're an idiot. Why are you even thinking of that? This is so this watch. $11:45 already. There I should show you close. Kaboom. This thing went up. This is 9,800 now. Tudor pumped their prices as well. So did Omega. I should do a video on that too. A lot of the brands pumped. It wasn't just Rolex, but of course Rolex makes the news. They won 9,800 for this? That's crazy. You can get it on the grey for way less. There you go. Looks better on my wrist than a Rolex looks on my wrist, doesn't it? Because it's the right size. You know, it's the right proportions. And the gold is brushed instead of high gloss. So it has a softer gold. And just the black with the gold is just, it's kick ass. Got some super chats coming in. Exciting. This is so fun. AO Curry, €5. Thanks for brilliant content. What's the view on the Black Pan? Seems like not talked about a lot, but great history. Swatch collab was superb. Disagree. I wasn't into the collab, but I do have a lot of respect for Black Pan. I just haven't had any. You know, a lot of people ask me, hey, why don't you do a review on such and such a watch? I'm like, well, unless I have it in my hands, what am I going to do? Just use stock footage? I'll do that on a watch that's just been released and I can't get my, like if I talk about the Land Dweller, I'm not going to have one of those in my hands now for ages, maybe never. And when the Trump watch was announced, the first one that was announced was 100,000. It was the solid gold one. When do you think I'll ever, does that even exist? I don't even know if that watch exists. I think it was just a way of cleaning donations. So I had to just use stock footage or the video. But think of it like now that I have Breguet and I have two Breguet, one of them is not mine, it's for sale. I have a Breguet 7067 and the Breguet Tourbillon. I'll finally be able to do some really sexy Breguet close-ups. It's going to be life-changing, guys. You get close up to a Breguet, you'll give up your religious beliefs. So finally, I'll be able to do it justice rather than just showing like something off the website or, you know, and then the same with the VC. I know that VC looks beautiful to you guys, but you want to see it under a loop. It'll sit comfortably in your seat. But I have a lot of respect for Black Pan. Of course, huge history. One of the first dive watches, right? 50 fathoms. Man with class, $25. Wow. You're the man with class. Congrats on your milestone. Well deserved through hard work. I'm now throwing a bone in ribeye. We'll grill it rare and chase with a double black. I love double black. Johnny Walker double black. I love that. Celebrate your 300K. And my impending divorce. Hey, man, divorce is the best. Divorce is forever, man. Your divorce, I'm gonna quote Louis C.K. here. Divorce ages like fine oak. Free at last. Free at last. Divorce is the best. That's what Louis C.K. says. If you fall in love with a woman, absolutely get married. No, I'm not saying don't get married. Get married and then get divorced. Because that's when you'll finally be happy. A nice ribeye, rare ribeye. Ooh, I'm jealous. Rare steak and whiskey is a great, you know, we always think of red wine with steak, right? There's a lot to be said for a good whiskey and a rare steak. It's a good pairing. It really is. Just the steak. You don't need any sides. Just a nice bloody steak. And a glass of whiskey is a beautiful thing. Scotch or Irish, it doesn't matter. DJ, the Breguet Experimental 1 is just mind blowing. Their new one, yeah. Jeez. How much is that thing? Does anybody know? It's got to be like 500 grand or something, right? Sal, a beer with myself. I don't drink beer with steak. What's wrong with you? Beer is soap. soapy water. Don't do that. Do whatever you want. Don't listen to me. I'm full of shit. Hi, Tesh. Is Watch Fashion Police coming back for 2026? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. It's good fun, that show. Always enjoy it. Nice co-hosts. Freder, Canny, VC makes the best of the Trinity watches. You know what? It's hard to argue with that. It really is. VC are classy. And there's something about the fact that they're not as famous somehow as AP and Patek that makes them even cooler. Carlos Mavrogenis. Dapper looking fella. I think no one else in this world can wear a Rolex like you do. Suits you like crazy. Do I have a Rolex here I can put on? Is my sub over there? I don't have the 124060 anymore. I have the 114060. Here she is. I want to get a 124060. Or maybe I'll get a Starbucks. Maybe I will get a Starbucks. Stick it on. Thank you, Mark. Very nice things to say. I hope you don't think this is Rolex, because it ain't. It's a Tudor, but I'll put on Rolex. There's nothing like a bit of steel Rolex. Never gets old. But I do want to get a... I don't know. I had a Sky Dweller for a weekend, like a blue dial flute. Well, they're always fluted, but it was Jubilee. I fell in love with it one weekend. I was over at Frollo, and he was like, "Take it for the weekend. It's a long weekend. I'll see you on Tuesday. Film it." I was like, "Really?" And then it turned out to be a little too blingy. Is that weird? At first, it was just like a sparkle fest, you know? Every angle was just like beaming. And then I was like, it actually got to be too much. I was like, tone it down. Ease down, ease down. What's that from? You're just grinding metal. Ease down. There's a quote. Hey, I should be doing quotes tonight. It's a celebration of the channel. I should be riddling you guys with movie quotes. You're just grinding metal. Ease down. John. Thanks for coming on last night, by the way, John. Fucking good shit. You got to fix your audio issues, so man, I don't know what the hell's going on. I think your bosses are listening to you. Because it kills your flow. You're in mid-sentence and then everything stops. If you go back and listen to it, you'll hear it. Got to get that sorted. So I don't know what it is. I had the same love affair with the Pepsi. Just couldn't keep it going. Well, John has... Last night, we didn't do a wristwatch check because we were talking about a fucking... the overthrowing of a government. It's a little bit serious. But I was wearing the Speedy... The Holy Grail Speedy. Maybe the best Speedy ever made. And both John... He can't come on camera, so he can't show you his watch. pretty important. We can't break those rules. But both he and my brother were wearing the 124060. That watch. I'll take the watches off the book. They're both wearing that. Which is, later generation of this. Just the next generation. Iconic. Yeah, like that's the problem with an extra blingy watch. It's a big commitment. It's a lot. It can tire the eyes a little. It can happen. Mod 392 seems to be a lot of Rolex haters out there. Is this jealousy? Has it always been so? It has, and it is, yes. It's exactly what it is. Unfortunately, it's just the truth hurts. The truth hurts. Most of these guys, they can't do the Rolex thing for whatever reason. There's no shame in it. I'm just saying, like, they can't do it. And there's comfort in the scoffing, You find a comfortable place in the position of, fuck those guys. It's all, And that way you get to feel a little bit more comfortable in your position. Meanwhile, if you walked over to one of these guys with this and just put it on their wrist and you went, there you go, that's yours now. They'd be like, so you know what I mean? They're not going to turn it down. They're not going to go, oh, no, this is against my principle. I'm giving it back. They'd be like, really? It's like we all hate Kim Kardashian, right? She's a fucking asshole and a big sellout and a corporate bitch and all that. But if she was right here in front of me in fucking, bra and panties, I might change my tune just temporarily, She gets down on all fours, sticks her big ass in the air and looks over her shoulder and goes, go for it. You're totally not going to be like, oh, you're such a marketing manipulative person looking for money and attention. You'd be like, I'll be right there, honey. I remember there was an interview happening in her house, and Pete Davidson, remember that comedian who basically slept with everyone? He was like the flavor of the month for about 6 months, and every girl in the entertainment industry wanted to sleep with Pete Davidson. Very weird. Whatever, good for him. But he's doing the interview in Kim Kardashian's house, I think. She went to the shower and she yells out, she goes, Pete, I'm in the shower. Do you want to come shower with me? And he just stops the interview. He's like, all right. He just runs. He's like, sorry, guys. I got something more important to. Who could blame him? So it's the same thing. It's Rolex is Kim Kardashian. She's got a big ass, big boobs. It's a big, gorgeous, fucking sexy watch. And as much as you want to hate it and despise it, it's like chocolate cake, It's the obvious. I mean, there's lots of other gorgeous cakes that you could have, but have you ever been at a party when people turn down the chocolate cake? I don't think you have. Yeah, in the end, we all like chocolate cake. Christopher Bottom. 28 Canadian. What a legend. Thank you, man. Happy New Year. Same to you, sir. Thank you for all the watch advice and support. I have the 253180. That is basically like this. Similar, slightly later model. Great watch. And now a Speedy Sapphire Sandwich. Lovely. Now to find a dress watch under 8K for a 6.5-inch wrist. Oh, Cartier. Go for Cartier. I could sell you my my Drive, because now that I have that Vacheron Square, the Drive is a beautiful dress watch. It really is. It's amazing, but I don't know what situation I'll be in where I'll choose that over the Vacheron Square, the ultra fine and gold. I feel like if I'm invited to a wedding or somewhere where I need some dressy thing, that thing is just like the most dressy thing. It's fucking outrageous. So as much as I love the Drive, the Cartier Drive, I just feel like it's never gonna get that wink and the nod from me, because the other bitch is gonna grab the attention. You know, you only really need one fine dress watch. So if you want it, man, reach out to me, yoshinamarichannel@gmail.com. That's the beauty. 6.5 will work, yeah. Or you get a tank. Or you go for something vintage, a vintage Omega or something. Thanks for the super chat. Congrats on those watches. They're good. I'm catching up on the chat here. That's all Christmassy, the background. That's nice. Lovely. Jason says a Neo Vintage 16233. Date just 36. Will you get that for under 8K? Giuseppe Aru. Rolex doesn't sell every watch to everyone, and that makes some people jealous. But that exclusivity is part of what makes Rolex special, just like Ferrari. Yeah, because, in high-level cars, you can't just walk in and buy it, right? Ferrari the same. I should say the proper way. Ferrari. The Italians don't like when we go Ferrari, because they just hear roar. They're like, what's wrong with you? It's Ferrari. It's their language, their cars, their invention. So they get to say, they get to dictate. Not the Kardashians. I know they're horrible people. I'm just saying. Would you turn her down if she was there in her fucking black bra and panties? I don't think you would. DG. Arrivederci. DJ, out of all of your collection, for me, the Gold Bluesy was number one. The AP Chrono, which I do have here, that's one of the expensive watches I did not put in the bank the other day. And the Speedy is number 3. Wow. That's interesting. People love the Gold Bluesy, huh? Yeah. Banger of a watch. It's a beaut. Do you not like the GMT? I'm sure you like it, but do you think I made a mistake? I can always get another one. Here's the AP. Stick that on. I'll go from like, because even a few years later, because I got this in 2022, didn't I? And even though I have VCs now, and this VC is probably like my favorite watch in the collection, probably, honestly. This is kind of the pinnacle, isn't it? This is kind of the end of the rainbow, isn't it? In many ways. And the other is, oh, she's still ticking away. I thought I'd have to set her, but no. The Omega is kind of the beginning, right? So that's kind of the beginning and the end, right? There's the two. That's the journey in one picture. And I know what everyone's going to say once I put this on. They'll be like, that's you. That's the watch. I know. I can feel it coming. Let me engage the chrono. I like to engage the chrono every now and then, just to let it live. Am I right or am I right? If I was to be a one watch guy, it would be this, wouldn't it? There's a watch you can get a super clone of if you don't want to wear it, but why do that, you know? I'm not even drunk, guys. What the hell? This is my 300,000. Maybe I should invite people on. It's a bit subdued for a party, isn't it? I didn't know I was going to do it. But it's also nice just chatting with you guys directly. Giving you guys more attention than I would if there was someone else on the screen. The bracelet's amazing, Sal. Yeah. Is there any bracelet like the AP bracelet? I don't think so. Got to keep the gears turning. Yeah, every now and then it's okay to engage the chrono and just let it run for a little bit. You know. Also reminds you your watch is alive. Brad, see? Told you. That AP is you. I also like your AP. On the grenade rubber. Oh, yeah, that one. Well, that one's not here. You know what I have? I have the strap. The watch is in the bank. I put it in a pouch. Because if for some reason I get robbed, which is pretty much impossible, but whatever. I just got paranoid because Watch Crunch the other day he made a video about getting robbed. And he lost some good watches, poor guy. But he's got a great attitude, nice positive attitude about it. But anyway, I just put the watch in the pouch and I took it off the strap because the strap is replaceable. I can get another one of these for $700-800. I cannot get the watch for that. The watch is a different thing. Mind you, it does have that AP insurance, but that might be expiring soon. That was only 2 years. So it's probably up by now. Maybe not quite. Yeah, that one's a good one. I don't even have a buzz. What the fuck? Paul Word, I was in Bond Street today, saw a massive new AP site under construction. Well, it would have been massive because it's probably an AP house, because that's what they do these days. They don't do boutiques anymore. It's an AP house. It's like a bloody hotel. You walk in, there's no watches anywhere to be seen. It's a foyer and a reception desk, and then you go in an elevator and go up to their different floors. They've gone crazy. Do completion 2027 seems like they're making massive play in the marketplace, almost upstaging Rolex. Well, I mean, they've gone into the Uber exclusive. Getting into the AP house, you need a reservation. You have to book ahead. You can't just walk in willy-nilly unless you're, John Mayer or someone. And it's like going for a job interview or whatever. You get interviewed, you get vetted, and forget asking them for something special, some special piece. You're not getting it. They'll be like, are you ready to start your AP journey? Which is code for, are you ready to start buying code 1159s till you're practically bankrupt? And then we offer you a Royal Oak. $4.99 from Wrist Presence. Congrats on 300K. I think that new gold reversal would complete your collection. Ooh, the tribute thing, the mono. Now, the one I want is the rose gold chrono tribute. I showed it I had it on my wrist in Miami last year. That thing. That thing is amazing. Too many watches, guys. Watch for me, the Starbucks was my most worn watch in 2025. Just acquired got the two-tone bluesy black. So not the bluesy, the black LB. No, LN. You should have written L because you said two-tone black. So it's not lunette blue, it's lunette noir. It's barely left the wrist. That's a good watch. I love the two-tone in black. People always go for the blue, but I think the black has a lot to it. Mad. Mod. Everyone's knackered after the festive season. Yeah, we're all exhausted. It's a Sunday night. Still an okay crowd in the room. Give me a thumbs up if you can. If you're near your computer. Bala Max from Anachronist. That's it. That's the name of the channel. I thought it was Watch Crunch. Sorry. Or maybe he was Watch. I can't remember. I think he changed the name of his channel. Anachronist. Yeah. Nice dude. Great attitude. Yeah, because he was robbed. They broke into his house. He has security footage of it and everything. Luckily, not all his watches were there. But they did walk away with like his Panerai and a couple of others. It's a good video, actually. You guys should watch it. I think prudence is the best thing. Yeah, you have to separate your collection. That's why I dump a load in the bank and I don't see them then. And I keep some in the house. And when I just took this out, you probably heard a bag. I had it in my jacket. Sometimes when I leave the house, I like to put a couple of watches in my jacket pockets because they're safer on me as long as I don't get too twisted drunk wherever I'm going. It's separating them. And also have, as John said one night many months ago, having a regular lifestyle. The problem when you're being watched is if you have a pattern of life, then it's like Maduro. They were watching him for ages to see his pattern of life. so that they got to know when he'd be home and when he was in a certain place and who was around him at the, and then they knew when to strike because he had a pattern. When you're patternless like I am, you're very hard to pin down. Unless they want to break in and, while I'm here, but good luck with that. That's not going to be fun. We'll all be in the newspaper. There better be 5 or 6 of them, because if it's 1 or 2, I'm gonna fucking hold them hostage. I have my Hamas tunnels in the house. Don't you know I'm a terrorizer? See, that's the problem. If you're going to work every day at the same time, or you have a same pattern, you go to the gym every time at the same time, they can watch your movements and then get to know. And that way it's easy. But when you're a wild, unpredictable drunk like me, they have no bloody idea. I mean, there's no fucking way they know where I am anyway. Or even able to get into this building. It's like fucking Fort Knox. But still, where there's a will, there's a way, right? Know what they say? Is he up yet? No, he's still snoring. Shit, it's fucking 2 PM. Doesn't this guy ever get out of bed? Well, he was up late last night streaming. We calculated that he consumed 3.5 liters of alcohol. It's unlikely he's getting up before 3. God damn it, O'Malley, just let us rob you, please. Nobody got the quote from earlier, by the way. Brad Kozier. Wishing, can you do a movie quote from the movie called Patterns? Well, that's no fun. I have to do the quote and then you have to guess it. Doesn't work the other way around, Brad. But I don't know patterns. Can you kill someone in self-defense in Venice, or is it like Canada? No, by law you can't. But what you do is, if they come into your house and you're able to incapacitate them, just keep them in your house, tie them up, torture them, and never report it to the cops. And then you're good. What are their friends going to do? Report it to the cops that they were last seen going into my area? Admit that they were robbing. The whole idea is no one knows where they are. So that's it. If you're able to incapacitate them, which I am. Just never report it. And then become Hannibal Lecter. Apparently human meat is tasty, especially the oysters on the back, right? Like Red Dragon. Tell us, Hannibal, what is this beautiful amuse-bouche? I'm afraid, my dear, if I told you, you wouldn't even try it. Each hour that is not counted will come as a pleasant surprise. As for me, if you want a good laugh, you will find me in a fine state, fat and sleek, a true hog of Epicurus's herd. DG wants me to do. That's my wife, god damn it. I posted a thing on Daniel Plainview about Venezuela. Those areas have been drilled. Because they're going to go into the Orinoco belt now. They have a lot of work to do. It's crude oil, right? It's thick. It's not thin and light like the Saudi stuff. It's crude, but there's a lot of crude oil distilleries. Is that what they're called? I don't know what they're called. In America that are ready to break that shit down. So they're going to have that. And now they'll be less dependent on certain countries in the Middle East. I'm looking for the positive side here. There is no positive side. And if you as an American think you're going to benefit from this, wake up. You're not. Did you benefit from Iraq? You didn't. This will go to the elite class. They'll just make more money now selling you the stuff they stole. And patriotism will make you feel good about it. All warm and fuzzy. Well, we have that oil net. You, like you as people, you got to buy it now. They'll make you pay. It's the elite class that get their hands on it. They'll sell it to you. They'll sell it to Russia, to China. All they have to do is get it out of the ground, which Venezuela weren't very good at doing, even with the help from the Americans, because the derricks and all of the setup there, the oil plants, petroleum plants were, most of them were already American. They were built years and years and years ago. It was crumbling. But they'll have access to all of that now. They'll pull it out of the ground. 300 billion barrels or whatever. Fun. That's what you do when your economy is failing. When you don't produce anything anymore. What the hell does America produce anymore? They don't produce anything. They buy everything from China. No wonder they're so rich over there. So when in doubt, use your mouth. Now, when in doubt, just fucking steal. It's a great idea. What was that old Leo Sayer song? When I need love, I hold out my hand and I rob love. Not quite the lyrics. There ain't a thing anyone can do about it. That's the good part. But we can drink. Black gold, yeah, so. Canuck watch collector. That's it. It's an act of desperate, yeah. Yeah, because look what's going on. So, yeah. It's like a heroin addict just running out of heroin and running out of cash. Time to buy a gun and rob a bank to feed your addiction. That's what you do. The grandkids may benefit. I don't know. You could have a big immigration issue, an even bigger one soon. Venezuelans, mind you, they are fucking good looking. A lot of gorgeous. Even Emmett said that last night after hours, because he's been everywhere on the planet. He's seen all of it, and he played it in Enrique. So like creme de la creme were in the audience because women are so obsessed with Enrique. When I used to go see him in Madison Square Garden, he'd get me a pass, so I'd get in the back door, get a great seat up front to watch the show. I wasn't looking at Enrique. I was looking at either my brother playing and the boys in the band going, hey, or I was just like turned the other way looking at the audience going, the literal hottest women in the entire New York, New Jersey, Long Island area from the ages of 16 to 46 are in this audience. Every hot woman in the entire tri-state are here right now. It was just off the charts. I was like, that's crazy. And Emily was saying last night that some of the most beautiful women he's ever seen were in Venezuela. So maybe it'll be a welcome influx of desperate Venezuelans in the coming years. It's funny though, all the Venezuelans like dancing in Miami. I'm like, he was about to just deport all you fuckers. You know that, right? Now you're all celebrating. ICE are still watching you guys. But good-looking women are welcome. Come to our country. I always get into it with Irish people on TikTok, the anti-immigration crowd. I'm like, you're just jealous because they're all so fucking good looking. All these fucking Brazilians and stuff. The Irish are wallpaper in comparison, I'm like, well, the good news is they actually want to marry you, so fucking marry them. Start making kids. Maybe we'll get good at soccer finally. Such bullshit. It's a big club and we are not in it. It is. Certain people are going to make a lot of money. That's for sure. ExxonMobil are up on the top of the list. Are the people of the United States going to reap the benefits? No. You think they're going to go, okay, we just made $17 trillion out of this. We're going to give everyone free education and free healthcare. You think they're going to nationalize? They won't. Every time a country tries to nationalize their oil reserves, they get invaded. That's what Chavez did. They don't like that. Well, give it back to the people? No. Like they did in Norway. Everyone in Norway is wealthy. Norway has more fucking Tesla cars than any other country in the world. They're all running around buying Rolex and living a great life. Everyone. Because all the oil has been nationalized and 95% of the profits or something crazy like that just goes back into the people, into the system. So the roads are impeccable and there's free education, free healthcare. They're all spreading the wealth. Well, capitalists don't like that. It's like, no, I'm not fucking giving anything to anyone. I'm keeping it for me. Thank you very much. They don't like that. They don't like that charitable, altruistic nature. Rubs them the wrong way. I mean, if you had a crystal ball and you went, look in the future, look, Trump gives everyone, he does a third term and he uses the hundreds of trillions of profit that they made out of that invasion, which is what it is, by the way, make no mistake. He didn't just say, we grabbed Maduro. He said, we're going to take over the place. We're getting the oil guys in. He had. That's the good thing. That's why I said if there's one redeeming quality about the man, at least he tells you really what's happening. If you just listen, He's going to spew it. He can't stop talking. So it's going to come out between one sentence and another, between one boast about himself and another. You'll hear actually really what's going on. That's what's going on. But if you had a crystal ball and you were like, look, 8 years from now, there won't be any poverty in America. Everyone will have free education, free healthcare, their teeth straightened for free, free nose jobs, free boob jobs, and the price of everything. You can get a Spritz Select for $2.50. Then I'd be like, okay, well, at least he used it for good. You think that's going to happen? Forget about it. It would still be the same old rat race. Free Rolex, Brad. That would kill it, though, wouldn't it? DG, 8 million Venezuelans left. That's close to 31% of the population. We'll see what happens if it turns into war, insurgency. That's normally what does happen. It would be the exception if it didn't turn into just a quagmire. QMT, Oisin talking about how stolen oil is going to serve the elite to increase their wealth while they harness support from the poor who they despise, but the cost to achieve their arms is spot on. Yeah, the rich don't care about us. Come on, guys. That's how they get rich in the first place. But what will be interesting now is, what is Saudi Arabia going to do? And China and Russia are going to go, all right, how much do you want? We'd like 90 million barrels, please. What's the cost? So it's going to be a power shift. Emmett said it last night, and I think no truer thing. He said there is no such thing as international law. It's true. It's on paper, and people will get all upset screaming about it. But a law is there to be enforced. And if you can't enforce the law, is it really a law? Michael D. Ridge, do you think it would be better with Russia or China balls deep in Venezuela? No, it wouldn't be any better. No. These are big power players, and they're all ruthless. Pick your asshole, At least, the gung-ho MAGAs can go, well, we like our asshole. We prefer our asshole than that asshole. Can't really blame them. Maduro did not do too much to help. I know he offered it. He's like, if you leave me alone and let me govern on my own terms, I'll give you my oil. We don't have the resources to dig it out of the ground anyway. He's a dick. We all know that. Doesn't mean you get to kidnap him in the middle of the night. We know lots of dicks that should be kidnapped in the middle of the night. Imagine Putin kidnapped Donald and Melania in the middle of the night. That would be war. But there'll be a lot of people, Americans, dancing on the streets. Go, oh my God, thank God. Fuck. Thank God, that was a fucking nightmare. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm still shaking. Anybody got a drink? The relief Not just across the country, across the whole world. Everybody would be like, "Oh my god, I need a fucking drink after that." It'd be like the scenes where you see kids finally getting their hearing back, you know, in the doctor's office, and they start crying with joy. Michael, if Maduro could carry a tune better, it would have bought him a month or so. Oh god, that guy's so fucked now. Fucking hell. Good luck to him. It's done now. No point in crying over spilt milk. It's got to be rough though for troops. You know, they got to go down and do that shit. And I don't think the old we're spreading freedom is going to really sell to these men. You know, they're leaving their families behind, kissing their wives and their kids and heading off to do that filthy work. It's going to be harder. Won't be too much walking through the airport and people going, "Thank you for your service." You know, they'll be like, "Are you fucking going down there to help them steal that fucking oil?" Well, I'm not giving you my fucking first class seat. You know, they're gonna be persona non grata. That's great. That's great. They put their lives on the line for their country, and they're just gonna. That's not nice, but. Yeah, Michael Knight, I drink your milkshake. It's totally I drink your milkshake. We said that last night as well. If my straw reaches across the room and goes into your milkshake, I drink your milkshake. I drink it up. Those areas have been drilled. It's called drainage, Eli. See, I own everything around it. Naturally, I get everything that's underneath. Drainage, Eli, you boy. Drain dry. I'm so sorry. How many people are going to rent that movie now in the coming months? Just as reference. Trump drank his milkshake, yeah. That's exactly what he did. Right. The aliens are eating popcorn and laughing their tentacles off. I love that, Ray. Laughing their tentacles off. They're probably watching. If they're out there, they're probably watching, yeah. It's probably a big fucking reality TV show to them. Just go, oh my god, did you see what happened on episode 458? You won't believe it. I know everybody's going to be watching that movie now. Sound impressive, Daniel Day-Lewis. I do that all the time. I do that every day in the shower. I'm like an idiot. I do my own drilling. And the men that work for me. They are men that I know. I don't lose my tools in the well, spend months fishing for them. Mr. Plainview, a question. Where's your wife? Well, she died in childbirth. It's just me and my son now. What is your offer? 1/6 and a guarantee to start drilling within 10 days. Now, that's an offer you won't get anywhere else. Even if there is oil here, Eli, Do you have someone to dig it up from under the ground? Well, our oil comes up right on the surface. I believe that's called seepage. Doesn't necessarily mean anything's underneath. The way he gives them every answer they want as well when he meets the whole town. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the face, no mystery. He's talking about like building the town. Now let's talk about something, and I hope I don't offend you people, but let's talk about something delicate. Let's talk about bread. It seems to me that in this great country of ours, that a loaf of bread should not be seen as a luxury. There'll be irrigation. You'll have bread coming out of your ears, Mom. That whole thing. We'll build roads. And Eli stands up. Yes, Eli. Will the road lead to the church? Well, that'll be the first place it leads. Thank you, Eli. He just tells him anything he needs to hear. It's exactly what they're doing. Fentanyl, fuck off. They're killing so many people with their fentanyl. Like they're coming into the country and forcing it down people's throats. Like, what? Yeah. What would you like, Eli? $10,000. For what? For my church. That's good. That's a good one. It's like he's dealing with stupid children, superstitious children all around him. But it's touchy. I didn't mean to rant about this, but it got me thinking. It's true. No one in the town, I almost sound like I'm doing them still. Fuck. No one in the town could get the oil out of the ground. And if it wasn't him, it would be some other fucking shyster prospector ripping them off. So why not him? And they don't know how to pull it out of the ground. When you see the effort in the movie, what he has to go through. There's a deleted scene, famous deleted scene from that movie. It's the best fucking thing. I wish they left it in the movie, where they actually do lose the tool in the well and they have to fish for it. But he gets a little lecture from Abel, because they all have biblical names, like Cain and Abel and all this kind of shit. And but they find the piece while he's being lectured about the church of the third revelation. And he goes, I think Eli is a lunatic. And I think you're a sad little man. I want you to go back home now and stay there. I'm glad I could make a profit off your land where you couldn't. That was a really good line. Because look at Maduro. Did he put any investment? Did he seek investing? Maduro could have gone to China and said, okay, listen, you want to give us a shitload of money so I can put bread on the shelves for my people so that they don't want to hang me on the streets like they do right now. And you can come in and fucking start drilling, see how they pull this shit out of the ground. It's crude oil. It takes a lot of processing. You can't just stick crude oil in machinery, and you're going to process it to make it usable. So in a weird way, in a twisted, weird way, it's like someone should go in and grab it, right? I don't know. I guess the real fools are the people, just the general public who think they've been liberated. No, an even more evil guy walked in the room. That's all. You had your asshole, and you'll miss him soon because now bigger assholes came in the room. Enjoy your fireworks display. It's not going to be fun. Jeremy Irons quotes, Brad. That's what I should just do. Let's do Jeremy Irons and Daniel Day-Lewis and Al Pacino. They're all pretty weak impersonations, but I enjoy doing them. Jeremy Irons, yes. Oh, Mr. Sullivan, you're here. Welcome, everybody. I can't do him now. Got his tone. I must apologize for. I can't find his tone. I must apologize. It's down. I must apologize for. No, I can't find his tone. I can usually do him better. I'm just stuck in Daniel. There was another guy who was doing the other day at the bar. Oh, here's a quote. And this guy's got it's all the way down there. I have been instructed by my superiors to do precisely that. It's way down there. It seems we've lost another one of our submarines. I don't want to give it away, but are you asking us to find the blank? Because that'll give it away. And sink her? I've been instructed by my superiors to ask for precisely that. Precisely that. He's way down there. It's a lot of cigarettes and brandy. Precisely that. Anybody know what that is? Ray is like, Jaws. Here you go, DG. Red October. Are you telling me you lost another one of your submarines? I regret. You know that guy? What is his name, that actor? He's sitting there in the office of the who is that guy? What is he? That dude, that brilliant actor. His name doesn't come to mind. Are you telling us this is just a massive rescue operation? How can we help? Perhaps in the future there will be the technology to do a more thorough search and investigation. I just love that line. Precisely that. Give me a ping. Give me a ping, Vasily. One ping only, please. He's the Russian ambassador. Great scenes. Great fucking film. Love that film. It could be seen as a very pro-Americana film, but it's actually kind of pro-Russian as well, because the Russians come off as very cool. You know? Like fucking Sean Connery is what's the name of his character? It's gone out of my head. Red October. Sean Connery plays you probably said it in the comments already, but why is his name gone out of my head? Because that's the way it is. Ramius. Captain Ramius. Thank you. Ramius. You guys got it. I actually met Captain Ramius at a dinner. Have you ever met Captain Ramius? I love that scene. Yeah, so he's the Russian genius, and he's super cool. He's like super charismatic. And then, you know, when they finally all meet in that control room, and the engineer is like on the ladder and he's like looking at them, and Baldwin is like, cigarette, you know. The guy hands him one, and then he's like coughing because he can't handle the strength of a Russian cigarette, you know. It does portray the Russians as pretty badass, but it is a very pro-Americana film. It makes Americans feel very tingly and warm. As an Irishman, we're looking, you know, the Irish and the Brits, we're kind of outside it going, okay, whatever makes you feel better. Still a good film. Still enjoyable. My favorite line in that film is, personally, I give us one chance in three. The damn cook. Okay, it was the damn cook. What a film, man. Oh, boy. And they sing. You know who was great in that film? Scott Glenn. He doesn't get enough love. Scott Glenn was badass in that film. Oh yeah, okay, dudes. Listen, I'm a politician, which means I'm a cheat and a liar. When I'm not kissing babies, I'm stealing their lollipops. That guy, that actor, I should have him here. His name is Richard Jordan. You want to hear a funny thing? This is just the weirdest, most random thing. He was at one of our gigs in Ireland, in Dublin, 1,000,000 years ago in Dublin. We played a gig, and I walked up by, it was in Whelan's. I mean, this has gone back forever. And he was there in a lovely big Aran sweater, like Irish sweater, and he had a pint of Guinness. And I was like, that's that fucking... I knew him from a Woody Allen film called Interiors. And he looked at me and he goes, good gig. And I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. What does he do? Does he live in Dublin? That was really weird. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm just doing the quotes. It's all quotes. It's Pacino. What do we got? I had coffee with my colleague half an hour ago. And I do my own drilling. You look like a fool, don't you, Tilford? Yes, I do. Yes, 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 yes. Well, it was good fun, guys, and thanks for the good hang. Sorry it wasn't much of a party, but hey, we had a few drinks. And there was some lovely super chats. And I figured I'd just get on while it was still fresh. And I did precisely that. All right, guys. Thank you again for all the super chats, guys. Boom, 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 boom. You made it worthwhile. Thanks for following the channel, for supporting the channel, for watching the episodes. Katie, is whenever I go on a trip, my dad always looks at me and goes, "So when do you leave?" I'm just an analyst. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Hold on, we don't have to get the crew off. He'll already have figured out how to get the crew off. All we have to do is figure out what he's going to do. So what's he going to do? How do you get a crew to get off? He's shaving. He's getting ready to shave. How do you get a crew to get off a submarine? How do you get a crew to get off a nuclear? It's great. I gotta go watch that film. All right, guys. Thanks for the hang. Thanks for following the channel. Thanks for 300k subs. Onward and upward in 2026. And if you want some crude oil at a good price, you know who to call. Call Donny Boy. You give you a nice discount. Good night to everyone. It's 3 hours of rambling nonsense. I don't know how you sit through it, personally. But I thank you. I never look at the camera. I'm always staring down at the chat here. Yeah. No, from the bottom of my heart, it's great. I mean, it's what I do these days, isn't it? And I'll keep on keeping it real until I get the call from Mossad. Then my tone will change. Then I'll be like, "Welcome back to my channel. My favorite watch this week." It'll be like that. All right, kids. Go to bed. It's late. And thanks again. I'll see you later in the week with new content. Ciao for now. Peace. Love.